just start it over. Hello and welcome.
Hello and welcome to Onesies, a podcast of one-season wonders and blunders, where Emily does not want to edit a cold open. My name is Andrew.
My name is Emily.
And we are back discussing Maximum Bob, the 1998 ABC sitcom, executive produced by Wild West director Barry Sonnenfeld. So we're on episode 4. It is entitled
Something Weird. I just had it
Man
up.
or Manatee, Man Mermaid.
A little tail. A little tail.
Cool.
A little tail. Get it? Because they're all getting laid in this episode.
They really are, which seemingly had some cut scenes because the sheriff loses his shirt, or I wasn't paying attention. Either I was not paying attention, and it's also possible that there was a cut scene where he loses his shirt. Don't care. Moving on. We open with the sheriff. He's hanging out on the side of the highway is he even doing the speed thing, or is he just sitting by himself?
He's just sitting in his car with the lights on, stopped on the side of the road. Not even at the side of the road. I feel like he's in the road, like in the lane.
Yeah.
It's at night.
It's at night. I believe he's listening to a discussion at the station. I don't think they're fucking yet over the radio.
No, it's our scene introducing the plot where the lady on the radio is talking about Aquafest or whatever, and how these mermaids are coming from some other place to perform at Aquafest, and let's welcome them into town. And then they play some old song.
The voice of the DJ appears to be a black woman. There will not be any black people in this episode, to the point that I wonder, did Barry Sonnenfeld just say, this show's only going to appeal to racists, so let's not have any black people if we can't.
It's so weird. It's like the Friends problem, right? Like, you live in New York City and there are no black people around you. It's like you live in the South, and this is Florida, which is technically the South. There are black people, there's Hispanic people, there's all sorts of people. And they're in Miami, so there's like Haitian people. I mean, it's like, it's a huge, diverse place, even in rural areas, unless it's a sundown town.
68% chance it's a sundown town? Okay, so sheriff's sitting on the side of the road, a bunch of mermaid women.
A truck drives by, and there are 4 or 5 mermaids in the back of the truck. Women with their mermaid costumes on, their tails are flopped out of the side of the truck and the bed of the truck. And there's sort of a dreamy like sequence with slow motion with the beautiful ladies. I don't know. And then it passes by him. I was barely paying attention. And then another car. Well, yeah, go ahead.
He has a moment with them. Don't worry. Okay. But yeah, so then they pass and he's sitting there happy and a car speeds by him. And then I stop paying attention and apparently there's a car accident.
Yeah, I missed that too. And he whips around, goes to address the accident. Everybody's okay. The cars are all okay, which is weird. And the man driving this fancy sports car, who was behind the truck of mermaids, is getting a little aggressive. There's a little like, everybody's upset. So there's a little like head to head between the driver of the mermaid truck and him, to the point where he ends up getting arrested.
The driver of the mermaid truck being a woman who is
also a mermaid. Yeah.
Also a mermaid and wearing a mermaid-esque outfit, meaning boobs out. So, did you watch the Next Time On last episode, or did you not?
I did not. I did this time, though.
Cool. So, good, because next time, going to be fucking great. Speaking of diversity. Okay, so, I knew this was Kathy's husband.
I assumed it was Kathy's husband.
Okay, so when he is incredibly violent towards women, I was
aggressive,
like,
violent, shouting. Yeah, I was like, she dodged a bullet. Oh, probably literally. This is not a good guy.
no, no. Had the episode only had this element, we could talk at length about his date rapist hair. Instead, we're gonna move on. He has the not shiny but clearly puffed up hair. It's like not greasy, but it's puffed up. So that's like the, I'm a vampire slash, you know, I don't care about enthusiastic consent versus greasy hair, which is full rapist. Fun fact, Andrew Shue, who is a terrible actor, um, gave off big rapey vibes on Melrose Place, but I don't think I ever did anything creepy. But then was in The Rainmaker, where he was a rapist, and it was like his only good performance because he kind of just
Ooh.
sold. Moving on to the next, no, that night.
No, so he's getting put into the car. He reveals that you need to call Kathy Baker. Um, she's my lawyer, and he
My
reveals that
wife.
yeah, that's my wife. And the sheriff then gets a little bit more aggressive. Like,
He doesn't bump his head though. No, he doesn't.
no,
It's a bitch move. He should have bumped his head.
but he does get like he gets upset, and
Yeah.
then like shoves him into the car a little bit more aggressively.
Mind you, we will not have any scenes with the sheriff and Kathy together alone this
Alone,
episode.
not alone. Yeah.
So we are not going to resolve the dancing of last episode or their continued closeness. Now, we have the opening titles, and then we return to the lovely scene of
Goes to the
Bowbridge's.
courtroom. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh no.
oh,
This is
thank
where I
you.
was
Thank you
eating and was like,
so much.
barf
Bowbridge is
noise.
in the pool, wants to fuck in the pool. Leanne, the wife, is in her mermaid outfit, doesn't want to go in the pool, but is into the role play. Now, we have not established well enough that she is afraid of the water, and we are 4 episodes in. This is
So
pilot shit.
it was only done in the pilot when when she was in the pool, she fell in the pool when the gator was after her. That was the only time we established it. And then we've heard the story about her being afraid of the water. But yeah,
Not to this degree. It was never this clear. Because, like, when she's running from the gator, she's not going to jump in the pool to escape the, like, I mean, whatever. So we get to watch Beau Bridges pressure his traumatized wife into the kink that he wants to do that night. Sheriff shows up carrying a mermaid. This is
for what reason? Is it established why he's carrying her?
because he gets to carry around
No,
some.
but there's no reason for it. Like he just, whatever. It doesn't matter. So the sheriff shows up carrying a mermaid for some reason that's unnecessary.
I'm sorry. Is there an example in this episode outside of some of Beth Grant where women are not strictly for the sexual entertainment of men?
I'm still thinking. No,
No,
I
because
don't
they
think there's.
reduce Kathy to that. They reduce Kathy to that. And
No,
then,
she's sexualized the whole time.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, yes, because we
Be
also,
ashamed to cover up those pretty legs.
yes, we still are doing the opening recap. We're not saying the
Yeah.
judge tried to rape me anymore, but we are having the judge be a creep to her. And it's like, why is this episode, is the episode going to be about the judge cheating on Leanne? No, it's simply to establish that Beau Bridges appreciates Liz Vassie's body and tells her about it frequently, and she acts like it's.
He adjusted to this very quickly. We see.
This show makes Seinfeld seem feminist, like by far. Like it's incredible because I'm just thinking about like crappy comments to women on TV. This was not the norm anymore. Shit was this was 98.
Yeah.
Rachel had dumped Ross for objectifying her at this point. And they had not gotten back together yet, because wasn't that like a Hail Mary or something?
I, you,
As
I,
Mr. Emily.
You're asking the wrong gal.
Refer to the tattoo of the story of friends across Mr. Emily's belly and let us know.
Okay.
So, anyway, okay, given that Mr. Emily suggested this show, and given some of the ideas I have had for how Mr. Emily could help promote the podcast, talking through industry websites, I feel like these digressions into hostility are totally fine. Moving on to the courtroom scene. Again, we talked about this briefly last episode, but we don't get to see we don't actually get to see any of Liz Vassey's lawyering.
No, we don't. It's funny too because again, she has adjusted to this strange world so quickly. One, two, yet again, we are not going to see any of those cases that she was looking at the end of episode 2 because it's all new stuff. It's all stuff that's happening that we're seeing. Very weird.
Does the district attorney represent someone in a private legal matter? Doesn't he
Not
represent
usually.
Leslie Jordan later on?
I think so.
Okay, I wasn't paying enough attention, but this show,
Maybe they're
this
just
so Picket Fences was not a lawyer show. The every
no.
episode of Picket Fences, so the first half of Picket Fences was some weird goings on. Tom Skerritt's cishet greatest generation, but written by boomers. He learns a lesson. Then in court, we have Don Cheadle be black and talk about progress. Ray Walston ostensibly be conservative, but then actually talk about progress, but in a way where he gets to, be a white savior about it. And then we learn a lesson. There's no real lawyering involved in that show.
Yeah.
This show seems to have watched the TV promos for Picket Fences and thought that that's how they do lawyering stuff.
Well,
A
and
synopsis.
here's the thing. There's a brief moment where she's doing lawyer stuff in the second case, the second person she's representing. And she's like, well, I've got to go, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, legal, 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 legal. I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. And it was so like jarring. It so did not fit, even though it was just like really basic. Like
file a writ with the appellate court.
there was no lawyer consulting on this, right? They just pulled words that they heard from Picket Fences or from Law and Order, right? They just pulled words that they heard and reused them. That's all they did. But it was so unsettling because it was just like, why all of a sudden are you like competent? I mean, she's allowed to be competent, but she hasn't been thus far.
She hasn't even been corrupt. Like we were.
Well, she was corrupt.
She was corrupt, but that has not been repeated. It's like that's one of the things that got toned down is one of the things the judge saw in her, besides her being rape worthy in the first episode, was she was willing to break the rules to win. And he liked that. We've lost that.
And so not only have we lost that, but the judge was also corrupt.
Yes.
And then in this episode, in fact, in this very scene, he gives a long speech about how these people, meaning these rich white men, I don't know if is that coded Jewish? It could be. I don't know that he is Jewish or that the character is, but there's a large Jewish population in Miami. I read it as coded Jewish. But these people think that they can just, drop money in people's laps and get out of any consequences. Da 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 da. I'll show you. But she does get corrupted because remember, he says, "Oh, I can have my dad's friend make all of this go away."
Yes, so she does do that. Yes, but it's not. I mean, that's a personal betrayal too because she's doing it. It's gonna be. We'll get to it. Stephen Eckholt.
He's familiar.
He was on Friends. Oh, look, he played looks like probably a young man accused of rape on Matlock once. Hey, I'm just guessing that from his hair in the picture. Um,
This is face in general.
yeah, I mean, that is sort of his vibe. So, was this Melrose? Wow, that's a haircut. It is, and wow, that's a haircut. Okay, moving on. So, we basically just have a long, not real scene where the judge says, we're not doing this bullshit where these rich people get to do whatever they want when they come here. Your daddy worked this out for you, but guess what? See, I don't read them as coded Jewish because they're blue bloods.
Maybe.
Okay. Anyway, so I don't think Arlie Ermy would have agreed. Is another thing. Like let's talk some limits here. Arlie Ermy's willing to play
It's not her dad, it's his dad.
right, but he wouldn't want to play someone related to someone like that. Okay, but he hasn't been back,
He hasn't
unfortunately.
been back. Yeah.
Him and Leslie Jordan having an episode together would be about all that would be nice for this show. Okay, so not that type of episode, you pervert.
I
God,
wasn't thinking that. I was just
why are you
thinking,
making those gestures then? Like, sorry, I'm thinking about Toast to London. Okay. So,
that's the greatest scene in the world. The outtakes of that are fucking brilliant. Sorry.
okay, so he says you're not getting away with it. I was expecting there to be something actual. He just humiliates the guy, makes him walk around wearing a sandwich sign that says, I'm a shitty dude. And on the back, it says, I cheated on my wife. Which at that point, when Kathy
The
sees it,
wife is named, like she's
yes,
named,
Kathy
and
Baker.
broke her poor little heart. It
Yeah.
was very funny. It was very funny. But she's very
So,
offended by it. She gets
yes,
mad and goes and confronts the judge about it. And I don't remember what happens with that because it's not important.
not important. Um, After the courtroom scene where he gets convicted without there being I'm actually not sure if a judge can convict someone of a crime they're not charged with. But anyway, we cut to the two twins hanging out with a manatee. They don't do a bestiality thing at
Thank
all.
God.
I was waiting for it. They don't do it. Thank goodness. Instead, we get to hear about Beth Grant and William Sanderson fucking brother and sister, just like Florida likes it. Hashtag Rick DeSantis.
So,
Um,
first of all, the twins are with their manatee. Their manatee um, got its tail dinged by a boat, and so there's a big gash. It happens frequently. Manatees are big sweethearts, and they frequent warm, shallow waters, including Lake Okeechobee. However, the twins are also in the lake. I don't know if this is Lake Okeechobee, but this is something that they keep referring to as Okeechobee, Okeechobee. Lake Okeechobee is one of the most alligator infested waters in Florida. You could not spend any time in the water there without serious consequences. So I was a little upset about seeing them in waders in the water up to their chests. Like it was a lot. It was a lot to be believed. And all we see is the big head of a manatee sticking out of the water, big fake head.
yeah,
A man approaches on a boat and is like, I'm looking for my manatee, gotta take her to safety, blah, 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 because again, she had been uh, dinged up by a boat. And there are preserves and safe places to take manatees for stuff like that. They do not want to give her up. She is their favorite pet.
um, cut to bad joke about lard as sunscreen. Cut to maybe the street where we establish um,
The
the sign.
punishment,
Yes.
yeah, the punishment is
So
picking up trash with the sandwich sign.
yes, and we then cut to. Does she confront him about the trust fund at that point? I think so. So
Yes. So there's a conversation and she's like, "What are you even doing here?" And he's like, "I don't think you're smart enough to know what's going on here." I still love you. And she's like, well, that's funny because I called your grandmother today and she said she disinherited you from this trust fund and because you were divorcing me. So I'm sure that doesn't have anything to do with it, and kind of leaves him standing there with his dick in his hand, which was hilarious. So we're setting up this he has ulterior motives for being there.
Good thing we're not going to watch Kathy fall for all of those ulterior motives throughout the episode.
Mm.
Yeah, good thing. Because this show loves women. I'll point out that, okay, never mind. I was like, I'll point out that
If we were watching good TV, which we have, we watched a few. Do you think this would be a fun podcast to do? It's so much more fun complaining about bad shit.
we're not even to the big thing yet.
I know.
I fucking hate this show so much. Okay, so Mr. Emily fucking watched this show.
He didn't.
I don't believe that. There's no way he could know how fucking perfectly terrible it was unless he'd seen it.
He's got instinct.
He just is the, president of the Barry Sonnenfeld TV production fan club, and you don't know it. Okay.
Maybe.
That might be his website. Okay, moving on to Mr. Emily at onesiespod.com. Okay. So, let's just go to the fucking
Let's just go to the thing. So the mermaids are in town for Aqua Fest. We go to it. Is it the judge's backyard
it's where the judge's pool where it is being held by Leanne, and it is to benefit the manatees. Possibly it says that on a sign somewhere. When that gets introduced about halfway through the episode, I'm like,
I've never seen it. Yeah,
they didn't say that loud enough.
No.
They also need to say it louder when there's a fucking manatee in the episode, instead of it feeling like they filmed all the twin stuff separately somehow, which
it does kind of feel like that, doesn't it?
Does kind of feel like that. So then there are a bunch of women mermaids being catty and objectified, which is when I was like, this is why Emily wanted to watch this.
It's like, yeah, it is. It's like some kind of party, like an opening party. The mermaids are being catty. Leslie Jordan is the proprietor of this business that, similar to what Leanne had done previously, they do mermaid shows. So Leslie Jordan, bless his heart, is running around, tiny, tiny little man, talking to people in the crowds. His accent is a little bit put on, but it's fine. I was assuming, knowing the next thing, that he was going to play it more straight, and he did not.
I would assume Leslie Jordan's character in this episode is a
confirmed bachelor.
Yes.
But it's one, there's no mention of it, and two, they have a new star of the show. She's graceful, she's elegant, she's beautiful. Look at her over there by herself. Leanne is like, I'm going to go get her a drink and bring her into the fold because all of y'all are being bitches. Goes over to chat with the star whose name I forget, and it doesn't matter because it's not kept for very long. Leanne gets upset, runs back to Leslie Jordan again, whose character's name Cletus or something, like, who is talking to Bob. Bob is trying to get campaign donations from him in any way possible. And before Leanne can say what's wrong, she's very upset. The other mermaids go over to talk to the girl. Leanne can't tell her husband and Cletus what's wrong before the other mermaids start screaming.
Cut. Don't we cut to a different scene and then come back to it?
Okay. I don't think so. And they all rush over, and the head mermaid, the Regina, what's her name? Regina George of the group, is holding a wig and says, It's a man. So a man has posed as a woman to get a job with the mermaids. They're terrified, freaked out. And then we cut. And I don't remember where.
Probably back to the twins. Maybe over to the husband and what's her face having another scene together. Doesn't matter. We will. Leanne's horrified expression.
Yeah.
We will then cut to. Do we cut to just straight to court, or do we no?
No, there's a conversation between the guy
Liz
and
Vassy
Kathy.
and
Yeah.
the guy have a talk. Again, the actors playing it queerer than the script is written. The script basically could just be about a theater kid.
Yeah.
The actor is playing it with a little bit more implication, but he wants to fight this. He wants his fucking job. Like,
And he describes being a young queer kid growing up, feeling left out, being made fun of, et cetera, and just wants one place, and that place he doesn't say explicitly, but he implies is underwater. I can do this work. I can hold my breath just as long as Leanne could underwater. I'm graceful. I'm talented. I can do this job if they'd only let me do it. It's my happy place. I want to do it. First of all, I was thinking, move to the city. Like, move to the city, find your people.
the city being Miami.
The city being Miami. I mean, that would be great. It's 90 minutes away or whatever they said it was. And you can find your people and whatever. Or move to Orlando or Sarasota or somewhere else, whatever. It doesn't matter. But because I thought it was kind of pathetic to be just like a roadside attraction. Like, this is my destiny to be a roadside attraction. And it's like, oh, that's sad. But whatever. It's his passion. He wants to do it. Good for him. Um, so she understands and she's going to fight for him, but she doesn't do a very good job. And I think they go to court the next day and the judge just, or maybe later that day, and the judge just delivers some speech about real men don't do this.
And we know it's not a mermaid because we all want to fuck mermaids. That's why we all go to the show. It's the only place that families can go where dad can just get fucking hot and bothered watching.
He can get his rocks off. Yeah.
The audience applauds it multiple times and then it's dismissed.
But again, Leslie Jordan is not queer coded. Leslie Jordan is seemingly okay letting this guy talk like this.
It's Lindsey Graham. Yes, obviously. Leslie Jordan passed before you could do the definitive Lindsey Graham miniseries. Yes. Directed by Oliver Stone. Yes. Anyway.
So, the case is dismissed, which is sad, but Kathy, this is when at some point during this discussion, she does her legal talk. And then
it's afterwards because she's telling
that she's going to appeal.
Yeah, she's telling him she's going to appeal. We get some shots of Leanne seeming upset with Big, but she will never. That's a red herring to the degree this show can have red herrings. But then we cut to probably the manatee subplot kicking off.
Oh,
where the twins are going to kidnap. Oh, wait, the fucking.
There's some fucking happening. Nobody knows why, but everybody's hot and horny.
Well, it's because the men all want to fuck the mermaids. That's why.
Okay.
They're all only sexually aroused
by women dressed as mermaids.
Yes.
Cool. So there's a bunch of different scenes. Yes.
I'll just point out all those mermaids are in their early to late 20s, and it is Florida. So this is a better universe than the one we live in.
Yes. So there's a bunch of scenes of just like, or conversations about how all of this fucking is happening. So the sheriff's deputies are all like hot and horny, window, staring at the window.
The rapist from the first one.
Yes, he's back.
He's back.
I know you missed him. The twins' parents are all hot and horny. the sheriff talks about,
Also, their aunt and uncle at the same time.
the sheriff talks about how like Lookout Point or whatever is like a used car dealership full of steamy cars. And oh, the one fun I thought this was funny. Like, oh, Mrs. Jacobson is out there driving her car around without a top on. I thought that was hilarious. That this
Be a
old
lot
lady was
funnier
just
if they don't.
walking around
Well, they
nude.
don't establish that she's an old lady at that point, so it'd be a lot funnier if they hadn't like shamed her at
I
the
just
end.
assumed it was. I don't
Okay,
know.
well,
But
whatever.
because it's funny in my
Hashtag
mind.
don't kink shame, Emily.
Yeah. Um, and so there's all this fucking happening. So while the sheriff's deputies are staring out the window, objectifying one of the mermaids who's outside, the sheriff answers the call. Yes.
No, no, no. You're just were you not paying attention? No, they were deciding which ones were theirs.
Oh, cool. Whatever. I'm a woman. I'm used to that shit. Are you kidding me? It means nothing to me.
I don't know. You have the fucking white supremacist police tattoo under your on your cheek, and you've had it. You got that in 2020. It was really weird.
I
Anyway,
know I don't have any tattoos anywhere. Well, just my surgery tattoos. Um. Anyway, so the sheriff picks up a phone call, and there's some shooting happening, and they don't know why. The police are getting shot at. So the sheriff responds. It's the twins. They've captured the man who's trying to capture the manatee, tied him up in a school bus, and are holding him hostage and shooting at anybody who tries to approach them in an attempt to save their manatee.
let's
Beth Grant. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was actually gonna, well, you hear Beth Grant talking, but we don't cut to the scene of the thing at this point yet, do we?
I don't think
Because
so. I think there's
we are
something
going
else.
to pause this subplot of urgency, of kidnapping, of firing upon cops
Firing upon
in
police.
Florida, in rural
Yeah,
Florida.
yeah. This happened before where shit people were assaulting police officers and not getting in trouble for it. On this show, it happened. Dumb. Weird. And what do we go
Well,
to then?
we do the whole fucking Kathy subplot. We do a whole fucking subplot with Kathy at this point, and then
Okay.
return to the sheriff. But why were the cops the bad guy? When? Okay. No, anyway.
Are you trying to defend the police?
No, I'm trying to figure out when Southerners decided the police were no longer the bad guys.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a couple of things. One, you know, you sort of have that sort of libertarian mentality amongst the police, right? Even though they are the police. But also they will let if they know you well enough, they will let you get away with shit, right?
I was thinking more like, how did we go from Smokey and the Bandit to this?
Oh,
Because Burt Reynolds wasn't really from the South. No, he's from fucking Florida, isn't he?
I don't know where he's from.
Okay. Anyway, because 1977 Hollywood movies were more progressive than 1998
ABC TV shows.
Disney ABC TV shows
Yeah.
produced by Wild Wild West, Barry Sonnenfeld. So Kathy's subplot: she meets up with husband again, sitting outside. She talks about how she's filing the thing, or she has filed the thing, and she's waiting to hear. He says, "Hey, what the fuck, bro? My dad went to school with that judge. His name's Bunny or something."
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll fucking, it'd
I'll
really
call in a favor.
it'd get back at the judge if we, fucked him over like this.
And then she's like, wait, I'm not going to let you think that doing this is going to let me back into your good graces.
Yes. Lingering shot on that, but she hands him the phone. We then cut to Kathy and dude, rapist, attempted rapist from cold open of the first episode. She's dragging him out to the judges to present an injunction to stop Leslie Jordan from putting on Aquafest until she gets a real hearing about the guy getting fired.
And at the judge's house, they are rehearsing the show for Aquafest. And Leanne is there. She's directing the show, seemingly.
She's directing the show.
And this is another like kind of red herring where she looks like she's upset um, about the whole thing. And
The
it's
judge,
confusing because you had mentioned before that she looked like she was upset with her husband. And
she's
now it
away.
looks like she's just upset because the show is getting canceled.
She's
Because,
technically the most complex character on the show
yeah,
by far.
yeah.
Yeah.
The way it's done is it's poorly done.
Yes, because
So
it's a
they can't put on the show until she gets a real hearing. So Aquafest is canceled.
so
Do we
then we
cut back to
cut
the twins?
then we
Okay.
cut to the twins, the sheriff, and possibly attempted rapist with a sniper rifle. I don't know that guy's name.
Yeah. He has a name, but I don't
He has a
remember
name.
it.
I'm not looking it up. I think it's the guy. I think anyway, it doesn't matter. They're there now. Sheriff goes in to talk to them and talks them down.
Yeah.
That's basically it. We get some of William Sanderson with his shirt off. Beth Grant
Beth
talks about
Grant.
fucking him. We then cut to
Can I say this? The characters, that family with Beth Grant, like it's so broad. Like if this is a Northern Exposure thing, it's sucks because on Northern Exposure at least those kind of quirky people just kind of come in and then leave and you never see them again. But this is just so consistent and so broad that it's terrible. But this scene with her when her specifically when because they had been down to the lovers lane and she's like he's not interested that often and so I don't question it when he is like it was so funny whatever her line reading was so funny. I loved it. Otherwise it's trash. Sorry.
so we then cut probably to Kathy and the husband. The husband has gotten out. No. No, we don't cut to that.
It's not the husband yet. There's a protest
No,
happening.
there's a protest where the judge is getting attention for them not doing Aquafest and Aquafest benefiting the manatee.
This is when there's they actually speak it out loud that it benefits the
Yes,
manatees and you're like wait where did this come
this
from.
is very important for the rest of
And
the show.
so now he's getting a larger base because they are mistaking his interest in Aquafest as being actually for saving the manatees when it's actually so his wife has something to do and he can jerk off to women in mermaid costumes. I don't know.
So we then cut to Leanne and the merman talking,
No,
and
we missed a scene. Oh yeah, yeah, no. You're right. You're right. It's Leanne. I thought you
where
said Kathy.
Leanne talks him out of the lawsuit while going, "Oh my God, I'd never ask you to do that.
I
I'm an
was
ally."
a couple of things. I was confused. I'm just confused because you're right. She is probably the most complex character on this whole thing, and she seemed to be sympathetic. But I was also like, she's working him like a mark. Like she is working this guy like a mark. She's playing the sweet, innocent, da 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 da, so she can get what she wants. That being said, we never see her being like malicious or mean, or we never see her like walk away like, phew, I convinced him. I'm still very confused.
It's the writing is so bad, and what's her face is not good enough to assay the complexities, but um just by the actions of the character amidst everything going on, she de facto is incredibly complex. Like
Mhm.
just to even the sort of character, her actions in the episode require a certain amount of complexity to it.
Yeah.
But yes, so guys like, well, I could never fucking stand in the way of a woman.
But also he looks up to her. He admits like, "Oh, you're my hero. Like you're the reason why I want to do this." And da 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 da. And again, it's like you can see that it makes her feel uncomfortable a little bit, which
Here,
lent me to believe that she was trying to manipulate him. And then he's super nice to her, and it makes her feel bad. Like it was very confusing.
There's also not any actual like implication of a drag component to this.
Mm-mm.
Like, dude just wants to swim. These are the outfits that you have to wear to swim. It's not, that's not part of, and it's unclear because he never just says, I just want to fucking hold my breath. He says, I want to do this in this other context.
Yeah.
And then like, because okay, it's 1998.
There
Siegfried
can
and
be mermen.
Roy were around.
There can be
There's
mermen.
many magicians or whatever, right? There can be mermen, right?
There can be mermen. There
There,
can be men for women to objectify. Equal opportunity objectification.
there can be men for men to
Leslie
objectify.
Jordan could objectify this guy if he wanted to, if he was so inclined.
Yes. Instead, or your
Wait,
mentor.
is
What?
John Cena in Barbie
I haven't
a
seen Barbie.
direct reaction to this?
I don't know. Maybe.
Mm,
I haven't seen Barbie.
it's not a direct.
You don't
It,
actually know. I mean,
I don't think Greta Gerwig is like, I need to fix some wrongs from 1998 Maximum Bob. We're going to have John Cena play Merman Barbie or whatever. No.
clearly this show had repercussions on Mr. Emily's psyche. Perhaps it also did on Miss Gerwig. Moving on to cut to commercial. Kathy's upset the dude's calling it off, but she understands, blah, 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 blah. Cut to what? Because we cut
Is
between.
she goes into the she goes back into the office
He's in the
after.
office with her, though. The
Yeah,
client
but
is in
it's
there.
but this is after the scene with the protest, and
Yes.
they're talking and they're getting along, and thank you so much for helping me, blah blah blah. And then cut to later, and they're like arsehole drunk, and she's got her legs akimbo. You
That's
can't
her in the
see up her skirt
hospital.
at that point,
But
right?
there's a break between that. There's another scene.
I know, but I don't remember what it is. And she's like lamenting like her office being in a lunchroom.
Yeah, maybe something with.
We're getting it out of order, but it
It
doesn't
doesn't
matter
matter.
because what happens is uh, Kathy and her husband get arsehole drunk. They are reminiscing, remembering the good times, and they start fucking.
Oh,
Um,
I know what it is. The sheriff hears the fucking and can't get it to stop. We cut
right
to
to
we cut to attempted
the
rape.
rapist deputy.
Right, so it is him. So he is Dawson.
Yeah.
And so he's getting the badge bunny all hot and bothered because she is a fucking
Oh yeah, because
Nazi
he's
bunny.
talking about
Yeah.
his activities. Yeah.
And so then we cut to the sheriff with in his fucking white tank top or shirt, not tank top. Just but his white undershirt, which led me to wonder where his shirt went. Um, and he can't make the radio stop of them fucking, and so then he like finally goes to the trunk and tells them to stop fucking on the radio. But they have injured themselves trying to turn it off, which will come back in a few scenes.
Yeah.
But first, he then goes back to the station where he gives out some pig's feet as a reward. I think attempted rapist is back by then. So, like, again, this is Dracula the series level. God damn, that show was good compared to this. It was only 22 minutes. So fucking good. And better morals, usually, too, I believe.
Well, and they're
Yeah.
it's primarily centered around children, so
Yeah,
you
but
know,
wasn't
making
Nick
it.
Kirshner promised to somebody? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't.
We forgot that. So he gets back, he walks in on them
Fucking.
fucking. She's embarrassed. He leaves. We cut to the next day where first Leanne finds out that Chick broke her arm, can't do the thing, and Leslie Jordan says, "You've got to do it, Leanne. Rah, rah, rah. You can do it. This episode's about you getting over your fear of swimming." I'll admit, I bought it. I
I
thought they were
didn't.
gonna. I had no faith. I was like, "Oh no, they're gonna be like, fuck you,
I
fuck
knew
you, kid."
immediately what was going to happen.
I thought no,
Immediately.
I thought this is where this is going, but then I was like, this show is not gonna. This show is gonna end with fuck,
Yeah.
whatever. It does not. Again, before we started recording, Emily said this was the best episode, even with the lionization of rape culture. It is the best episode
Yeah, it
and
is.
most progressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So Leanne has agreed kind of to take on the lead role in
mhm,
this performance. Um, we see that Kathy and her husband are all kind of lovey-dovey a little bit early on, but then Kathy goes to pick up the car which had been impounded.
yes, and this is a very amusing scene because through the very complicated dialogue that will reveal the car is registered to one Debbie, the other woman, who the husband has said is long gone. Sheriff's going to say something like, well, if we're not checking it out to the registered owner, we need to do this thing. And Liz Vassie's not the dude. So
Yeah,
she would need to do it anyway
she would
because
need to
she's
do it
not a
anyway.
registered. Oh,
I feel like I'm putting too much faith in the writers. This is his attempt to destroy this relationship as it is like blossoming again. And he's like, oh yeah, it's registered to this other woman, just to sort of like drop that bomb on her. And so she will not get back with her husband because they are going to get together. I'm not
what a
shipping them.
bunch of credit you're giving the
I'm
show.
giving a bunch of credit to the writers.
Because
Um,
actually, no, Sam Robards was not ready to do that. He just was like, just sign the fucking paperwork. I hope you're glad with that fucking rich dick.
yeah, rich dick indeed.
I'm the son of Lord Bacallad, not Humphrey Bogart. Okay, so
Um, and she is upset by that, but we see them together again at the judge's house for Aquafest.
no, in between, she
Oh, in
confronts
between.
him. She confronts the husband, and he lies to her, and she like goes for it, a bunch of it.
Does she?
Like, you have the car, you have a house registered in her name. And he's like,
I thought that was like as after the Aquafest. They do that.
does she do that? Okay,
Because
under
then
the
they walk up to
tree.
the car and it's
Yeah. Oh
all
God, we have to
yeah,
pause the mermaid scene so you can get another Kleenex. Okay, so we then probably I think we cut to the manatee going away from the twins.
we missed a whole prolonged scene about the twins lamenting having to get rid of their manatee and
Yeah,
Beth
that was
Grant
with
convincing
Sam
them. Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, it was a while ago. Whatever, doesn't
Yeah.
matter. So we then do the party that night. We missed a scene in the court where Liz Vassy has a meeting with Leslie Jordan, Bo Bridges, and I believe the fucking district attorney who is also acting as Leslie Jordan's counsel in this civil case.
Weird.
Which, again,
There's
better
only
than
one
our
judge in
current one.
town. Maybe there's only one lawyer in town. That's why
Yeah.
Liz Vassy has to stay.
So we then, but there was no deal there. And then, Leanne goes in and gets him to change his mind.
Yeah.
So we established in that scene that the judge is not willing to give the guy the MC job to make the case go away
Mm.
because he wants to be MC. So then we start seeing Bo Bridges spins around, grabs the microphone, starts talking about titties and mermaid titties. And again, should they remake this with Matt Berry as American? Anyway, so we get the opening of the mermaid thing. We don't see Leanne anywhere pinning that. We get the initial thing. We get Liz Vassy telling dude that she parked the car under a tree. He's upset about that. They walk over. She's like, by the way, why do you have a fucking car in Debbie's name? By the way, why do you have a condo in Debbie's name? And he's lying to her. They get to the car and
There's a bunch of stickers on it. It's painted on, calling him a liar, calling him a pig, calling him all sorts of names. And he's devastated. And then she's like, tell your grandmother I say hi. Sorry about, and tell Debbie I'm sorry about that money
Yeah.
that you're not going to get now.
Yeah.
If the grandmother were like a real badass bitch, she would give the money to Kathy.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Okay.
I'm rewriting this show.
So we then cut to the second half of the performance. Leanne is making her big comeback. She's going to do the fire jump. Kathy's in the audience, recovering from her trauma. And out
The
comes
judge announces, my beautiful wife Leanne is going to attempt this thing, and da 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 da. And then a little prolonged. It's a little delayed, but somebody comes out. Leanne comes out on the thing. I noticed right away that you could see man pecs instead of a bra where boobies would be. And then we see Leanne in the background, and everybody sees Leanne, and Leanne's giggling. She walks up to Kathy, um, and they're giggling together. And then the guy performs the jump successfully, and it was a success. And afterwards, Leslie Jordan is like, "Oh, I discovered him, and he's our new attraction." And so all is well with that subplot. All is well with Kathy. She got rid of that trash. Leanne is still concerned about her husband because he was mean to this gay man, and his soul is still a little bit ugly, but she'll still fuck him
in the water.
in the water. Get a UTI for that man. That's something else.
So I think that's it, right?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Next week, Wanda Grace gets mentioned again, but
Yeah,
also
she was not in this one.
or the last one, but also next episode, there will be a werewolf of the swamp who appears to be a magical voodoo man played by an actor, probably a black man.
Probably.
And so, again, Mr. Emily just really picking a good show this time. I'm gonna make you watch the Wong Kar-wai show next time. 26 1-hour fucking episodes.
Okay.
I'm not, but maybe I am. I don't know. I don't know yet. No,
So
we're watching Whiz Kids. That's what we're watching. Anyway.
The good news is we only have 3 episodes left of this show. Next week's episode 5, Good Dog Car. Do not like that. But yes, a beast is attacking people and claims that it's the Okeechobee Wolfman. And there's an exorcist involved. Yeah, anyway, maybe it'll be a good episode despite its deep, deep problematic nature, like this one. Andrew,
I didn't say this was a good episode.
it was the best episode, is what you said.
That's true. But you know what?
It's relative.
Yes.
Thank you for watching this with me, folks. Thank you for listening. Andrew, I will see you next week. Until then, I'll see you in television land.